Lola, we got a package today, man. This is so sick. Woo. Nice little letter. I'm gonna read that later. I just want to show you what we got going on. So, this means so much to me, man. If it wasn't for each and every single one of you, I wouldn't be getting this recognition, this award. You guys made this happen. You guys made this possible. How sick is that? Bodie Vision, presented to Bodie Vision for passing 100,000 subscribers. So sick, man. I feel like this should go in the office, but I kind of want it in the shop. It's gonna get dust, overspray, and everything all over it. But dude, I don't care. How sick is that? So right now, we have so many exciting things on the horizon. We have the project, the EG Hatch. This is the owner's dream car. So we have a lot of work to do on this one also. I just picked up another car for a huge project that's on the horizon. Also, I have a package being dropped off today for an upcoming video for the 1988 LS swapped Honda Accord. So many things to come. We gotta get started.
And now, you're watching the useless yet powerful information that an angle grinder blade and a CD have the same size center hole channel of YouTube. Welcome to Bodie Vision.
Shake. Good girl. Hey, so what is up, and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me yet again on another video. My old boss one time once said, "Let sleeping dogs lie. Live and die by that saying. Take it how you want." So anyways, what we got going on today is with this car, the EG Hatch, the body and the doors don't match one another. And what I mean by that is the body wasn't meant to have trim, so there's no holes on the side for that side molding to be actually fixed to the car, but the doors do have those holes. So we want to run it with no trim. That's how the owner wants it, and I think that looks good as well. So now I need to make the doors match by welding those holes shut. So what I'm going to end up doing is I already have a couple made. I'm just going to make these little plugs. What I do is I just take a stud welder and then I put a little piece of metal on it, put it in that hole, weld it shut, grind everything flat, and this is just a little bit smaller on all four planes than the plug itself, so that way I can get weld in between there, grind it down. Let's just go ahead and get these holes welded shut so we can have the side molding shaved. That's technically what this is, shaving side moldings. Alright, so really quickly I wanted to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Gentle Bands. Gentle Bands is a company that has reimagined handcrafted rings for men. Most all of their rings are made using unconventional materials to forge a ring that truly represents your unique style. In their bands you can find various materials such as meteorites, fossils, whiskey barrels, antlers, and much more. I like this design so much that I could not just settle for one band. I ended up going with the Radar as well as the Black Panther. They are both made with tungsten, while the Black Panther has a meteorite section while the Radar has a beautiful rose gold section. It looks so good, man. I can 100% stand behind a company that puts so much effort into the overall quality and craftsmanship of their product, just as I do. I have a 25% off discount code for you down in the description. Click the link down below and use code BODIEVISION for an exclusive 25% off. So thanks again, Gentle Bands, for making such a beautiful, unique, nice product. Really like these. Now let's get back to work. Now that we made a little bit of progress on the car, I cannot help myself but to want to hang the silver play button. So let's go ahead and do that. This gives me PTSD.
Honey, when you're not busy, can you hang a picture for me?
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be busy forever. On some bullshit. Why don't you take a nap? Man, when you finally hang it after a month, you look at it, it looks crooked. Oh, bullshit. Yeah. I think that's good. All right, so we got this. Look how fresh that looks. Don't look at that, you're disgusting. So anyways, we got the moldings pretty much shaved. I got a little bit more body work that I have to do. It's just one of those things that I like to work it a little while, move on to something else, and then circle my way back to it because it gets a little bit tedious trying to block in that small area. What I found to work best is, I know I'm out of the shot, but I'm looking for my sandpaper. Give me a minute, bro. Okay, so what I found to work best is I have this block right here, right? And usually you sand with this side, it's this wide. I found that if I put this in that area, and I don't even know why, it's like kind of a pain to block it out, but we're getting that blocked out. So as I'm kind of going back and forth, I want to now get the rest of the car sanded because ultimately the whole thing needs to get sanded down before I can prime it, and I want to prime it so that way I can block it. I want to make sure every single dent is completely out of this car, and that's just the process. Alright, so now at this point that I got a good amount of it sanded down, I just have to keep working back and forth between body work, doing a little bit more filler if necessary. So I'm going to work this area, then maybe fill that area. And also keep in mind, I'm just focusing on some of the dings and whatnot. Any area that still has a bunch of raw metal, I want to get epoxy primer on it before I do any sorts of body filler there. And I just got a notification that someone's at the front door, so let me see what's going on with that. This is the package I've been waiting for something else. These are seats. Let me just show you what it is. Oh, shit. Oh! Good thing I'm doing body work. So let's see how these look. I don't know how there could be two full-size seats in here, but we'll see. So let me talk to you real quick, man. So I kind of had some thought, like, you guys have seen me paint a few cars recently. Like, we got this car going on right now. We also had Kyle's hatch that we just finished up on. And then before that, we had my TL and the silica. I want you guys to know and understand that my main goal as a content creator is to build cars, even though probably my best contribution to a car is the paint job. But I want to show you guys that I'm more than that and that I do more things to cars. So dude, here we go. You can already see what it is, right? Woo! Coming with the freshness. So these are for my 1988 LS swapped Honda Accord, and I wanted to get these for a couple of reasons too. These look nice, bro. I'm not mad at them at all. So I wanted to get these for a few reasons. Number one, because the seats that are in there right now, they sit up like my head is like touching the roof of the car. So they don't sit in there right. Let me get this box out of here before I mess up anything else. So I'm not extremely happy with the way that the seats are sitting, and that's because they're mounted like from the bottom on the rails or on the slider. So the rails themselves slide and they're bottom mounted, meaning they have to be up so high in order for you to get in there. Now these are going to be mounted with these type of rails on the side, so I should be able to get them a lot lower. Let me show you the back on how fresh and crispy these look. Ooh, these are gonna be perfect for the car, man. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on, as I should be, and as I need to get back to making progress on this hatch. I could not help myself on showing you these seats though. How sick. So at this point we want to get our DTM direct to metal epoxy primer mixed up. Now this epoxy primer mixes, if I sat here and said I exactly knew what every single thing mixes up, I'd be lying to you. So this mixes up 2 to 1, as you can see right there. That's 2 parts epoxy, 1 part catalyst or hardener. So this is just, I've had this for a little while. A lot of this stuff as it sits, it's fine as long as it's not sitting really long, as long as it's nice and sealed up. So let me see, let's get this mixed up. 2 to 1. Ooh yeah, real gummy at the bottom. So if you can see, pretty nasty right here. You can see those chunks in there. But once this gets all stirred up, it'll be completely fine and ready to paint. So the main idea behind wanting to put down an epoxy primer direct to the metal is those areas of large metal, like where there's just like a whole bunch of exposed metal. I want to put a primer on that just to protect all that metal, so that way we don't have any issues. There is some debate. Some people say body filler nowadays is meant to go directly on metal. Some people say you shouldn't put body filler on metal because then it can hold moisture in between the metal. So I don't know. I don't know what the exact answer is, but I do know whenever I bring anything down to metal, I'm always going to go a epoxy primer on top first. I want to try to make sure I do everything as good as I can possibly do it the first time, so that way we don't have to have a second time. So this here is not going to require a lot of primer at all. So on a scale of 1 being the least and 5 being the most, I'm just gonna do maybe 2. Nah, I'll go up to number 3. I'll have a little bit left over, but it's all good. I'd rather waste a little bit than come up short. So what I like to do, I like to mix it and then also let it sit for a little while, so that way it can really soak and mix real good. But I also don't want it to sit too long. You don't want it to start kicking off. So let's get it sprayed. So now that we got the epoxy primer down and it is looking oh so good, really smooth, exactly like I would expect and exactly what I would hope it to look like. So this is going to be a nice foundation. This over here doesn't really need to be body worked. It just had a little bit of rust coming through that I sanded all the way down, and I addressed that problem. But in here, the shock tower extensions, of course, we need to put a little bit of body filler. I want to make sure I give the epoxy primer a good amount of time to dry before I consider doing any type of regular primer or body filler on top of it. Now, if you've been following the channel for quite a while, you might know or be able to guess what this next huge project is, but a hint is right there. The car is right there, and the project is going to be a full body swap, chassis swap. Well, I'm going to be interchanging some bodies and some chassis and whatnot, but based on what that car is, that's all the clue I'm gonna give you. And also I wanted to circle back around. Huge thanks and shout out to Gentle Bands for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate that. In the next video, we're going to get those seats put in the Accord. I have the chassis swap, all that crazy stuff on the way, and also a lot more content to come on the EG hatch. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'll see you real soon. I'm out.